in all the hills.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us to, well, not to cry, but to go over what happened yesterday when we unfortunately lost against Brentford at home. Right, so tonight, your host Vic, along with Dan the man. Hello, Dan.
Hello, Vic. It's a sad day, but I'm not going to be too depressed in this one.
I know. By the end of this episode, I'm sure we'll be back to our normal positive thinking and look forward to the next game already. Obviously, we've got international break coming up first, so hopefully players will recover and will be able to take us to Wembley. What do you think about that?
I was feeling a little bit more optimistic a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, maybe Wembley. Maybe.
We're not looking promising. For the last couple of games, we're not looking promising. It feels like something's going down. I don't know what happened. It's not the same team. It's not the same team from previous month.
Well, yeah, are people eyes looking elsewhere and their motivation's gone?
It feels
our
like
players already got moves.
Gone. Yeah. It feels like motivation's gone. Some players. Do you think some players are maybe a bit big in their heads since all these transfer rumors started going around?
Yeah, but then you look at the one who's probably had the biggest transfer rumors. He's been playing the best, CHERRIES. There's two ways of doing it: being an ultimate professional and not letting it get to you, or being, I'm going to call it a Semenyo, and the performance just dipping.
Do you not think he just dropped his form?
I think he needs a rest. I'm hoping it's usually, but then Semenyo, one of the things with Semenyo that's always impressed me is his work rate. And he's just a couple of times, like the offside, the game before last game, and then yesterday, it just doesn't seem like he's got that desire to chase down, close down. Whereas you look at Kluivert does. Kluivert's still chasing everything, wanting it. So how that's changed through this season so far. Everyone was speaking about Semenyo part at the beginning of the season. That Semenyo is going to be joining a big club. They did the BBC interview. Semenyo being linked to this club and that club, but now I think it's changed. I think it might be putting some of the bigger clubs off, which isn't a bad thing if we keep him and then he comes back even better.
Yeah. I think he's just in a bad form, and the way everything looked yesterday is obviously we're going to talk, go into details a bit deeper later on in the show. But yesterday felt like players were saving themselves from the international break, for the national teams. I don't know. Maybe that's just my vision, my opinion. But that's how it felt. Like there was no motivation. There was no motivation.
Who knows? I was just going through the players that. Yes and no. I think there are. That's a simple answer. I just think I'm looking at who's going on international break now. Semenyo.
So we got Semenyo. Dango. Is Dango going as well?
Yeah.
Burkina Faso. Got Dango. Kluivert for Netherlands.
I actually don't know, but I know that there's no English ones going.
There's no English ones.
I'm guessing Zabani.
Zabani. Yeah, Housen wasn't. There were talks about Housen being included in the Spanish squad, but he wasn't in the end. I don't know, Evan Nilsson.
No, he's not in the Brazilian squad at the moment. So you start thinking about it. Actually, we don't know the players that you're.
Christie, we got Christie, but now the situation. I didn't expect Christie to play yesterday. To be honest, with his situation,
He's got. Irola was saying about he's got a chronic injury, which is just it's always there, and they have to manage it. But
Yeah.
I do feel I go onto it every single one. Take him off, just slows down. The whole team slows down. Tyler Adams is definitely being picked for America. He was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know if Hungary plays, but Kerkez is a big part of the Hungarian national team as well. Unlucky he wasn't picked earlier for Serbia, but yeah, right. So before we go into detailed overview from yesterday, we do have to remind you that this podcast is a part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. It's a unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen, if you can, every day. Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Right. So, yesterday's game. We were both at the game. We were at the opposite sides. I was in the north, you were in the south. I'll tell you how it felt from the north. It felt that even the fans were a bit tired and there were no big expectations. The fans weren't the same fans as the Wolves game in the cup, in the FA Cup. We didn't stop chanting, singing for 120 minutes of the game. This game, it just felt so different. It just felt so different. Um, Performance-wise, I already mentioned earlier, I think some of the players were looking to me like they were maybe saving themselves for the international break and to play for their national teams. Regarding Semenyo, I think he's just in a bad form. Players' forms drop. It's they can be in a high great form for a couple of months and then they suddenly drop it. It can be a lot of things. He might have something going on with his family. He might have this, that. We don't know. We don't know those small details, small things. But I think we will get him back after the international break. I believe Semenyo is going to be back to the
I,
Semenyo we
w-
know.
I hope so. I hope so. It just feels like his confidence has dropped. And it could be, like you said, it could be the agent who's already touted him and made an agreement with another club. Who knows? I'm hoping you're one where he's just lacking a bit of confidence. He's just not shooting as much.
No.
He hits
And
the
I
ball.
want to say about the beginning of the season and everything. He was one of the top players to create chances and just try go 1-on-1 and then shooting on goal. And even in our first, before you joined us, Dan, in our first few episodes at the beginning of the season, I was actually complaining a bit because I was saying the Semenyo is a bit selfish, and in the situation where he was supposed to pass, he would try and shoot, but he's not even doing that now. It's weird. It's weird.
Maybe he's listened to your podcast and it's put him off. Tell him he needs to go a little bit further into the episodes.
Uh,
I
don't
do
say that.
think, there's so many moments. We're talking about Semenyo there, but like the header into the crossbar, open a free header. I thought that should have been him.
So I've pulled the stat out. Semenyo is a top player in the Premier League who's hit woodwork no less than 5 times this season. So there's no other player that hit the woodwork 5 times this season other than Semenyo. We're talking about 5 more goals on his score sheet, But
It's one of them annoying ones when he hits the woodwork. If you have a bet on, because if you don't know, hits the woodwork, that doesn't count as a shot on target. Yes, that did happen to me yesterday, and it's happened before. So that doesn't surprise me, but it just gives me a bit of a reminder why I avoid it. One of the things about the whole game I found was Brentford's tactics to dull the atmosphere. The time wasting from the goal kicks, the time wasting from the throw-ins, from the first half.
From the first half.
It was painful, but it's clearly a tactic to slow the game down. They didn't want Bournemouth being high tempo. They didn't want the crowd on their side. It was a real frustrating part of the game.
Yeah, and you could see. I mean, it feels so annoying. Like we're thinking even when we were 1-1, even when it was a draw, they were just trying, to slow things down, and they were. It's so weird, and I don't think I've seen any other Premier League team this season doing that.
Wolves, I've seen them do that to us, but that was a bit more of a tactical one because they.
Yeah, but that was after the lead. I'm talking about Brentford when it was a draw, when it was 1-1.
Yeah, wow, is that a compliment to ourselves? I wonder how many teams have done that. Brentford have done that too. Probably quite a lot, actually. The thing what we really struggle with, and everyone keeps commenting, in Brentford sit back, and so they won't mind. And I don't think Bournemouth know how to deal with it. Like what Brentford did is sit back and invite the crosses almost on the edge of the box. They wouldn't allow. They'd encourage them, and obviously they're quite a tall team, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very strong aerial, and I don't think we've won many tackle many aerial duels yesterday. It was you just couldn't do anything, and even the subs that came on for Brentford, Pinnock,
Yeah,
it's like he's tall, and what was his name, Vandenberg?
I don't know,
They're all
but
tall.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've whatever they've it's a clear tactic. It was a clear tactic from them. Obviously, they scored from a corner. Talk me through what you think of the goal they scored.
Right. Well, the first goal was scored on your side, so I didn't see much, to be honest. What happened? I thought
No,
that
it
was
was your side. It was your side. Oh, you're on about our goal. Our goal. That was a.
no, but even no.
That was your side.
Both of the goals were on your side in the first half.
No, no, it was in the corner. A corner was down at the north stand. I promise you.
I'm a bit lost now. Wait. Oh my god, I had a long day yesterday. Anyway,
Yeah, it's very clear. Had a long day. Yeah, from the north, they headed it in.
it's let's go by the order, right? So first goal, on goal, right? Okay, I was expecting somebody's going to score. I didn't expect on goal, to be honest.
No, great ball in by Kirkes. Came off the player's hand. It looked like the referee was going to go to a whistle and give it a foul against Bournemouth, or he thought it was Bournemouth's handball. And you can see he stopped. And then
One thing I can say for sure, there was no VAR yesterday at all.
no,
So no, but it was halftime was 1-1. Halftime was 1-1.
yeah. So it was at your end. So the Bournemouth goal was at my end. The Brentford goal was at your end.
Yes, because So Kepa, right, you are right. Yeah, so it was a corner that Mbeumo took, and we headed it because Kepa went out of his line and he missed the ball. He tried to punch the ball, and yeah, it did happen in front of me. Now I'm rolling the film back and remember, he literally missed the ball, and then the next corner, like a couple of minutes later, it happened the same, and he got it, but barely. Do you think that happened because of his height?
Yeah, I
Because
think
Kepa
it
is
was.
not a very
I
tall.
thought a great delivery. Well, you can't. He's 6'1", isn't he, Kepa? I believe 6'1", 6'2". And from my understanding of listening or chatting to Premier League scouts, if a child is not on likely to be over 6'2" as a goalie, they usually dismiss him because as the percentage of a keeper being under 6'2" now is so great. So there must be a stat there. Obviously, Kepa bucks that trend and was an 8 million goalie. I don't know. You're more a goalkeeper here, and it reminded me a bit of you coming out to flap for it. But
Yeah, with 5'9".
yeah,
Back in the days, right? When we could still do it. Well, my strength was jump. I had high jump and
and he maybe a bit like Kepa
reflexes.
then, but
So maybe
just missed time. I
uh,
just great delivery. I thought that
great delivery.
Mbermo's
Great
corners every single time was good. Just poor. Should have done better.
I think
Adds more
should have
questions.
stayed on the line, but it felt the same like the last game when he made a mistake against Tottenham, made a penalty. Son wasn't even going towards the goal, and I don't know. It feels like in the last couple of games, yeah, Kepa's been making some weird decisions, and uh, he's had great performances so far, but he's still on loan. He's not our player. We need to remember that, and we need to focus what to do at the end of the season. Who are we going to bring? I can't see Neto going back in goal.
Nope, but we might be stuck with him with a high wage fee. He had a 3-year contract. I don't think he's. Maybe we'll try and loan him out a game, possibly.
Maybe. Right. We do have a quick message from our sponsors, and we'll be back shortly.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform, and Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description to learn more about Zencastr.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Yeah, so halftime 1-1. We just scored that goal. Second half started well. We tried to attack straight away. We had that crossbar that Semenyo hit. We had a couple more chances. We had when Brooksy came on. That I think it was again Kerkes' cross, right?
Yeah.
Where he hit half volley and straight into the keeper. Unlucky. And then I didn't see when the second goal happened. And I didn't even watch the highlights, to be honest, because I was so down. And I didn't want to see myself somewhere in the stands just with my sad face. So tell me what happened with that second goal.
Wow.
Because
it's a throw-in. Okay, and they had a lot of throws, long throws from number 7. I think it was
Sade.
We defended really well. I was really impressed with all the defending before that. I was looking at like how near post we were putting House in there. We had Kerkes coming through. I don't know who it was from Brentford, but he had his hand wrapped round our 2 players. Good strength by him. He won the ball, flicked it on, boom, goal. Frustrating. Again, not really footballing masterclass. It's more of reminds me back of the day of Stoke, and I like the long throw into the box, chuck as many tall men in. Every single corner I was watching it, and just watching the players. It was like we're playing a basketball team, wasn't it? It was like we're playing a basketball team, and we had all the smaller players. It was going to happen. But I did think we did well until that moment, and I guess the more times we just get put out for throw in near there, the more likely it was becoming. And I think at times there's been times where we don't actually need to push it out for a throw in there, and we play a less risk option by playing out, because most teams don't usually cause disruption from a throw, but it was very clear this team was. And it just happened again. I think it was a second one immediately after the other. So they threw it in, we defended it well, but just instead of clearing it up the line, we just played the safe option out. It came in for another throw in and they scored. Yeah, that was it. It's going round in my head more and more now, making me a bit sad. I remember the box was just completely crowded.
Yeah, they were playing a lot in our box in the.
They deserved it. Second half, I felt first half we were more dominating, but second half they took the sting out of the game. They got the goal. Their game management was exceptional. I can't really remember us actually having a chance after they scored, and that's very unlike us. I don't think the subs made a real difference.
No.
What do you think about Tavernier going centre mid and Alex Scott not coming on.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. I mean, he went into kind of holding position. From what I saw, uh, I didn't expect that. I'm not gonna lie. I did remember your words from one of the previous episodes when you said that he could play central midfielder. But I think he did well. More worrying thing about me was Sinistera coming on and off because he just limped out.
Apparently, same injury as last time. Real worrying, isn't it?
Because we
What
know
about what
Sinistera.
would you feel though? Obviously, I've not been the biggest fan of Alex Scott. If you're Alex Scott, all those subs are happening. The ball is not going through to the wings and it's not working. You need somebody with a little bit of magic to get through one or two players in the edge of the box, and he doesn't get brought in. What does that say to you about Alex Scott and what Andoni thinking?
It's just one game. You cannot don't judge the book by its cover. It's only one game. If I think Hero just wanted to try something different. Tav had a good game. He was chasing back, and maybe that's the reason why he put it. Because usually we know that around that time Tav goes out. We know that Tav gets subbed for Brooks around 70th minute or so, but probably he felt that he can push more and that's it. And as I mentioned, I don't think he played a bad role as a CM. I think he did well. He did all he could.
So, who's your man of match?
What Bournemouth man of the match? You were asking?
Yeah, well, let's overall man of match. I'm a big fan of that way, so I thought he was a great goal and he held the ball up well.
Yeah, Wisa is now on 16 goals. I think he's a great striker, and I think Wisa deserved it because there were a couple of chances just near the end of the game in the last few minutes, and you could see him sprinting like it's the 10th minute of the game. And for me, that was fascinating. Uh, playing the whole game on that level, and especially against Bournemouth, who is a high press team, and then making runs like that in the 90th minute. Yeah, I think Vissa. Obviously, Norgard got the man of the match award, but for me, I think Vissa
What
deserves.
about Bournemouth then? Okay, Bournemouth man of the match. We're not here to speak about Brentford.
We're not here, yeah. Um,
Bournemouth.
I think Adams had a really good game again,
Yeah, I thought Adams.
and it was great to see Zabani back. Zabani was very solid. Um, yeah, I'd go for Adams.
I go Adams. Adams got taken off, quite surprisingly.
Yeah,
Lewis Cook, I thought played well, right back again. But yeah, I think we'll both agree with Adams. So that's quite a clear, obvious one. He's unlike Sinistera for us. I think we've got a real gem from Leeds there. Really pleased with Adams. And obviously they've announced a pre-season tour to America. So I'm sure the driving's helping to fund for both of us to go there, isn't it, Victor?
you never know. Maybe, hopefully, we'll be doing a live from United States. You never know. We'll see. But yeah, until then, I think we just need to look forward as much as we can. We've got 9 games left until the end of the season. There is still chance for Europe. Obviously, many people's expectations have gone, and the fans around me yesterday were very, very down after the game, and they were like, "We ain't gonna get Europe." Or there was a funny part though, right? So the guy that was sat 2 seats away from me, at one point he mentioned like, "Let's get into the European competition and get Partizan Belgrade." Now, obviously, I'm from Serbia, and I actually support Partizan Belgrade from Serbia. And he had no clue that I could be from Serbia, whatever. So I just turned around and I looked at him and said, "Oi, mate, why Partizan Belgrade?" Oh, because I want to see their fans. They're crazy. They're weird. They're like this. They're like that. Yeah, and then I told him I'm a supporter of Partizan Belgrade. I said, "Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, it's okay. I'm not going to do anything to you." But it would be very difficult because I wouldn't know who to support if Bournemouth was to play Partizan Belgrade. Would I go that southeast stand? Would I go north? It would be a very difficult choice, Dan. I don't know.
Well, I
Uh,
don't think it's looking like it's happening at the moment now. It's getting less likely.
it's getting
Unless
less
this international from this international break, we have a real strength. Time to regroup. Like I said, I don't think as many people are on international duty as you think. So good time to get the team together and actually work on a couple of things. Haven't seen a set. That was the thing that really surprised me. Beginning of the season, corner kick routines.
Oh yeah. We lost them. We lost them. I don't know what happened.
Like we're playing the biggest team in the world. It felt like, and we're just playing it straight into him every corner. So yeah, maybe we'll come back with a corner kick routine. Maybe they're going to go back, spend the next a week or so with a corner kick routine.
Maybe Raiola should listen to our episode.
Wow. I know where he gets his haircut. I'm just going to pop in now when he has his haircut and just start saying this random stuff.
Make sure you buy Estrella and Paella before you go and see him, because otherwise he won't listen to you. Right. Well, thanks for joining me today, Dan. It's been a pleasure, and thanks everyone for listening. Today we're gonna finish this episode with another word from our sponsors. Keep your heads up, people, and up the chairs.
Up the cherries.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bionic, the world's most personalised supplements. Bionic provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bionic. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.